reviewing my video on the 5 phases of ADDIE. But before we begin, let's learn a little bit about instructional design. The groundwork for instructional design began during World War II, when soldiers needed to learn specific tasks in a short amount of time. Large tasks were broken down into smaller chunks so that soldiers could adequately learn and understand all steps of the process. This approach evolved into the development of instructional design, which is a combination of education, psychology, and communications, creating an effective instructional plan. This approach ensures that students receive instruction that is effective and meaningful, ultimately helping them better understand the learning task. In simple terms, instructional design is the design, development, and creation of instructional materials while considering, quote, how students learn and what materials and methods will most effectively help individuals achieve their academic goals, end quote. Purdue University Online 2021, paragraph 2. The instructional design framework can be applied and delivered to any learning population, from school-age children to adult employees in all sectors of our workforce. There are over 24 different instructional design models to choose from. Each provides, quote, guidelines or frameworks to organize and structure the process of creating instructional activities, end quote. Instructional Design 2019, paragraph 1. Although there are many different models to choose from, this video explains the 5 phases of ADDIE. This model is the more traditional approach that many instructional designers use. There are 5 phases: analysis, design, development, implementation, and evaluation. The ADDIE model is a dynamic and flexible guideline for building education and training programs. Each step of the model, quote, has an outcome that feeds into the subsequent step, end quote. Instructional Design 2018, paragraph 4. In the analysis phase, an instructional problem is presented. Instructional goals and objectives are stated, the learning environment is identified, and the learner's prior and existing knowledge and skills are acknowledged. Some questions that you will want to find the answer to are: who is the audience and what are their characteristics? What is the problem that is needing to be solved? Are there any kinds of learning constraints? If so, what are they? How will the end product be delivered? Is there a delivery method? What are the online pedagogical or andragogical considerations? What is the timeline for completion? At the close of the analysis phase, you will have a solid understanding of the expectations and training needs for your product. The next step is the design phase. In this phase, the instructional designer begins to make informed decisions in designing the learning experience. Learning objectives, content, and curriculum structure, necessary knowledge and skills, proper educational tools, multimedia, and length of modules and lessons are a few of the components that are decided on during this phase, DeVell 2020. The design phase is specific, meaning that each element of the product is paid special attention, determining what exactly is needed along the way. It is also systematic, meaning that there is a, quote, logical and orderly method of identifying, developing, and evaluating, end quote, all parts of the project. Instructional Design 2018, paragraph 8. During the design phase, many pieces will come together, such as the strategies for the instructional, visual, and technical aspects, apply either cognitive, affective, or psychomotor domains, designing the storyboard, design the user interface, prototype, and visual designs. At the end of the design phase, you will have your project outlined, designed, and storyboarded. The third stage is the development phase, which is when instructional designers create, assemble, and bring to life the elements that are planned out in the design phase. This means visually assembling content, creating graphics and multimedia, selecting and using fonts and colors, and building the course in the e-learning tool of your choice. The fourth stage is the implementation phase. During this stage, the actual final product is presented to students and learners. If the course is presented online, then it's uploaded to a learning management system for users to begin learning. The final phase is the evaluation phase. Data and information are collected on what parts of the course need to be improved upon. This data can be collected through the LMS and student surveys. At the end of this phase, the instructional designer will have the information they need to revise the course, creating a better end product.